Hi guys, today in this video I'm going to be talking about F2L once more, except this time rather than teaching algorithms or anything like that, I'm just going to focus mainly on um, non-algorithmic tricks like more advanced keyhole method stuff, and just things that are more intuitive. So now let's get started. So a lot of the things I'm going to talk about in this video may seem kind of stupid at first, but basically what I want to focus on is experimentation for you guys so that you can just learn like some things that may seem really unimportant or like they won't make a big difference, but when it all adds up, it actually can. So like for instance, here's just one example. Here I have this edge piece right here, green and orange, which has to come here, and its corresponding corner piece is back here. And so I know that I can solve this without a cube rotation, but when I start with it here, I just wanted to point out it's one little thing to go like this. So what most people would probably do is go like this, hide this corner, move this over, bring it back up, and then align it. But that was 5 moves, and if you were to do it by hiding the edge first, you can hide the edges too, just like you can hide corners. So if you were to do this by hiding the edge first, it would take 1, 2, 3, 4 moves to align this into position for the 3-move insertion, whereas the other one, by hiding the corner, would take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to align these. So this is just one example of a thing that may seem kind of silly or like pointless at first, but if you really take into account all the things like this that could happen during a solve, it can really add up. So now I'm just going to move into a whole new topic about, well, I mean the same topic, but anyways, my point is, one thing I want to focus on also is ways of inserting pieces, and when I say that, I don't mean like the different ways to just insert an edge pair, like R prime F, RF prime, which will solve these two edges or whatever, like orient them. Not that type of inserting, but ways of inserting cases, such as when you have this edge, I mean this corner, excuse me, and this edge here. A lot of people know that you can do this R, U to R prime U and align it, but say the corner pieces starts here, like, okay, you have this, like whatever you do, like for example, it just so happens that this corner piece ends up here in your solve. Rather than doing a U2 and then doing that sequence, in a situation like this, it would be a lot faster if you just found another way to insert this pair. So you can also set up the 3-move insertion by just doing R, U, R prime. That sets it up too, and then you can easily go into it. So that would be less moves than it would to move this over here and then bring it out like that. The typical. So now as an expansion of that basic concept, holding the cube in different from different angles, like before we were talking from here, if you're holding it from this side, all these different places where you hold the cube can also affect the optimal way of solving the case. So for example, in a situation like this, it was the same thing as here, except only rotated this way, with the corner starting here. So in a situation like this, rather than going with a U2 type thing and then pairing these two up in the back like that, which a lot of people know how to do, you can just use basic keyhole method, and that would very much cut down on your time in solving the situation. And so if you don't know keyhole method, it's basically like the concept of opening up a slot or keyhole and inserting a piece and then moving the keyhole back. I have a video on that if you don't know what I'm talking about. And so anyway, basically, for those of you who do know, all you'd have to do in this situation to solve it by the keyhole method, this pair, is do a D, and then you have a RU R prime corner insertion, and you can move your D layer back. So once again, you just quickly do a D turn, insert the corner, and move it back, and that would be much faster than going through the full process of pairing these and then inserting the edge pair. And now, even getting into a little more advanced of a topic, an expansion of keyhole to a much further level. Although this is kind of hard to recognize in the midst of a solve, it's always good to have all this theory, like a full arsenal of tricks and knowledge. I guess it sounds kind of cheesy anyway. So rather than just bringing your keyhole and solving it, if you see that you have this corner already here and the edge piece is missing, you know that the edge piece must be somewhere else. So here I see that it is right here. So I can, rather than just inserting the corner, insert them as if these are the pair I'm trying to insert here. And this may sound kind of confusing, but I want to insert this corner just like regular F2L, pretending that this is the corresponding edge. So I align these two pieces and I insert the pair using the 3-move insertion. Then I can move my D layer back and I just solve two pairs at the same time. And this is probably confusing to those of you who are unfamiliar with it, but this is something, like, as most of my video is, that you just learn through experimentation. Like, a lot of these things I'm teaching right now are just best learned through practicing different pairs and examining a situation to find the best possible way of dealing with it. Alright, so now another thing I wanted to discuss quickly is the concept of, upon finishing a cross, you just want to make sure you have, if you see like an F2L pair, even if it's not paired up, just something that you can work with. I always recommend quickly just doing anything to preserve it. And I don't mean like going out of your way to like pair something up as an extended cross. So I just set up a really simple example. So like if you're doing your cross and you solve the first two pieces right here, and the remaining ones are this white blue and this white orange, and as you're inserting the white blue, and I'm going to do a D to place the orange, as you see that these two get paired up, rather than just pairing this over and moving it over and giving yourself a more difficult case, before you move the orange down, well, what I would do is just quickly move the white, this pair over, and then insert. Because then as soon as I even finish inserting this, I already know what I'm going to do. And in this situation, even rather than doing a D and then rotating, I'm just going to do a U prime, so I don't have to do a cube rotation. And then I can go right into doing that case. Then the next one, and it just kind of helps keep the flow of your F2L going and stuff like that. So here's another pretty interesting situation. I think this one's really cool. I think a lot of other people do too. So a lot of people know that when you have these two edge pairs like this and then like this, you can't just insert it regularly because then it breaks up this other pair, and you want to preserve your pairs because it's all about saving time. So anyway, so most people know that you can just insert it this other way, like that. F prime, R prime, F. Oh, sorry, I said it wrong. F, R prime, F prime, R. So you can just insert that, and then that doesn't affect the back slot. So, and even more, this is already a great trick. You can do one and then you have two. But even better, when the two slots are adjacent to each other, such as these two are here, rather than just inserting the first one and then dealing with the second one on its own, you can insert the first one. Okay, so I'm going to begin inserting, and then you can insert the second one with it. So I'll show you. Okay, so I'll move this down, I'll move this over, and now you can see that this looks like I can just align this and place it in, and then bring this back down, almost. That's exactly what you do, except you just have to be aware that before you do move the U layer and align this, you first restore this back here so that you don't take this piece out. So you move that back down, and then the last move of the 4-move sequence to insert would normally be just to move this back down. But rather than moving it back down, only to have to move it back up again, you just bring it over and insert as well. So altogether, rather than putting it in and then rotating and inserting that one, you just go like that, and you can insert both a lot more quickly than if you were to do both separately. So lastly, to sum everything up, the main thing you want to focus on is experimentation during your practice. Like everyone says to practice your look ahead and all that stuff, but no one mentions as often, and I think it's really important that you just experiment, because the experimentation process allows you to uh, really understand how everything works, and it allows you to more efficiently recognize and execute different cases. So I think if you build that into your practice, it will really increase your time, just to be able to cut down on all the different cases um, by a couple moves, or execution due to finger tricks, whatever it is. Just practicing analyzing the situation can really make a big difference when you're doing a real solve for time. And all added together, it'll really drastically help you improve. So anyway, thank you for watching, and that's all. Bye.